During the 1980s, many environmentalists, human rights activists and social workers protested against the building of large dams on the river Narmada. The strength of the voice of the common man was heard. Though the displaced received monetary compensation, the relocation plans were void of any strategy for their better future. Narmada, the gigantic river, flows from the east to the west in central India over a length of 1,312 kilometers, crossing 4 states, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat, before draining into the Arabian Sea. Narmada Parikrama, a circular journey on foot around the holy river Narmada, has a significant meaning. From ancient times, the believers looked to it as a divine opportunity for performing an act of reverence, a good deed, a charitable act.
नर्मदा माई इस समय मौन है, परंतु यह सखी के साक्षी भाव वाला मौन नहीं है। यह अस्वस्थता का, हतबुद्धता का मौन है। विकल होकर मैंने कहा, नर्मदा माई, तुम्हारे इस मौन को शब्द रूप देने का एक अवसर मुझे दो ना। नर्मदा माई शांत हंसती। मैं लिखने लगी।
Born and brought up in Nasik, after completing her college education, Bharati started working in the artillery center of the Indian government. But deep within, she longed for trekking, bird watching, studying plant life and visiting sanctuaries. When life was quietly moving on in the government service, one day she decided to go for Narmada Parikrama along with 2 friends. While on the Parikrama pilgrimage, she started contemplating on the purpose of life, and she found it. While on the Narmada Parikrama, Bharati became severely ill in a village called Kakaria. It was a gastro attack with high fever. A holy man, Sadhu, gave Didi some herbs and her condition improved rapidly. One day, the village children of Kakaria gathered around Bharati. She interacted with the children and found that though they went to school, they couldn't even write their names. How did this happen? After making inquiries, she came to know that the compensation received by the villagers for being displaced was spent on alcohol, drugs and other vices. Now they neither had farmland nor any money. Bharati was terribly disturbed to know the plight of the displaced. She could visualize that if nothing was done, the future generations would be in peril. She found a solution, a change in the thought process to remove the darkness of ignorance from the future lives of these children. Overwhelmed with compassion, she decided to devote the rest of her life in the lap of the river Narmada for educating these children. With the help of the villagers, Bharati started teaching in one of the village rest houses. In this unconventional school, through poems, songs and games, Bharati taught 14 children to read, write and do some easy math. The school ran before the government school time, which means from 8 to 10 in the morning. Being taught through entertaining media, the children found that the learning was easy and enjoyable. There was no more fear of study. The strategy worked, and within a month and a half, the number of students increased from 14 to 132. Bharati could not teach so many children simultaneously. She involved the village ladies who were slightly literate. Now Bharati became their Didi, the elder sister. Once Didi organized an event for some visitors. Elders from nearby villages were also present at the event. They were very impressed by the children's presentation. They saw a very positive change in the children and requested Didi to start a similar activity in their respective villages. Now there was no looking back. Though Didi initially started Narmadale in the village Lepa for the children of displaced families, Later, she expanded her work to include other villages too. Her work spread over many villages besides Lepa, including Amlatha and Naharkhedi. This was the beginning of a grand project. Didi lived in Mandleshwar and travelled 15 kilometers every morning to reach Lepa by car. After working the whole day, she would return home in the evening. One day, a terrified woman labourer came running to Didi for help. Her child was ill with jaundice. The child's body had become stiff and needed to be rushed to the hospital immediately, but there was no transport facility in the village. Didi rushed them to a nearby hospital in her car. The doctor examined the child and declared that the child was dead. The scene of the stiff yellow body of the child wrapped in rags and the blank stare of the helpless mother was etched on the mind of Didi. She became restless. When Swami Ranganathanand of the Ramakrishna order accepted Didi as his disciple, he advised her that the country as a whole should be her God and she should serve it earnestly. Didi realized that along with education, creating awareness about healthcare was equally important and necessary. To undertake this work on a large scale, she realized the need for establishing an organization. After consulting her well-wishers Mr. Koche and Mrs. Kalyani, Didi established Narmada, the Nimad Abhyuday Rural Management and Development Association, on the 24th of August 2010. The schools started by Narmada were referred to as Narmadalay. Didi started her work under the aegis of the newly established registered institution Narmada. A camp was organized to spread awareness about health. This was not only a new initiative for the villagers, but it was also a cause for creating enthusiasm amongst them. Until now, Didi utilized her pension income to pay for all the expenses of the organization. The villagers highly appreciated Didi's generosity, but the limited pension income was inadequate to support the activities of Narmada. As luck would have it, an unexpected benefactor appeared on the scene.
I was teaching in a nearby village when one of our teachers from Lepa called to inform me that a holy man known as Talwar Baba wanted to meet me. I was teaching at that moment. I asked the teacher to find out what he wanted to discuss and also to let him know that I'll talk to him later after the class. But Baba insisted that he wanted to meet me immediately. I reached back a little fearful, wondering what went wrong or if some children had done something to upset him. Baba was sitting on a chair in the school grounds. I approached him and asked, "Why did you call me?" He said that he has built a big ashram on a land that was allotted to him during the process of rehabilitation. He put the land title papers of the ashram in my hands and said, "My dear, from today onwards, this ashram is for your students." I was surprised. I could not understand what was happening. How could one donate his entire property to a stranger? I was confused. For about a month, I made inquiries as to why he wanted to give me that land with a building on it. Was it really his property? People advised me to accept a gift since it would be used for a good cause. After a month, Baba went to the court and legally transferred the ownership of the ashram to our organization.
The ashram was in a nice location. There was lots of space around it. Didi was very happy and wanted to relocate there. But the villagers were not happy about Didi leaving their village and moving to a new location. The disappointed, angry villagers pelted her car with stones. This created a tense atmosphere. Didi was firm and left the place.
I was returning from the village. I received phone calls from some children. I still remember one of the calls. It was from two little girls. They said, "Didi, the behavior of the villagers was really disgusting. We sincerely apologize for their rude behavior." The phone call brought tears to my eyes.
Though the village elders behaved rudely, the children were sensible and polite because of the influence of Didi's teachings. 15 days after the incident, when Narmadalai reopened, Didi noticed that one of the teachers, who always had a veil over her face, was now teaching without the veil. When Didi questioned her, the teacher responded by saying that covering the head meant giving respect to the elders. The elders in the village did not deserve any respect after the way they had behaved with Didi. So she would not wear the veil henceforth.
I felt that this event was a revolutionary change. It was the indication of independent thinking. Covering the head with a veil or not was not an issue, but the awakening to stand up against injustice was an important change.
The activities of Narmada increased rapidly. Around this time, they received a substantial donation from a Mumbai-based granting agency, and Narmada activities spread to 8 villages, benefiting 850 children. Suddenly, one day, the aid was stopped. The reason? A survey commissioned by the government confirmed that every village in India has a school and 98% of the children are enrolled in the school, though the ground reality was very different. The dropout rates are alarming and children fall victim to the practice of child labor. It further stated that the children in the school were given free midday meals, study material, uniforms, cycles, etc. Because of the so-called survey, the granting agency offered funding for an alternate project for Narmada to work against the dowry system, atrocities on women, rape and other such areas. But Didi rejected the proposal. She firmly believed that the only effective way to stop atrocities against women was by educating the children to become rationalist and cultured citizens. Didi did not compromise her decision for the sake of monetary help. Due to the termination of the financial assistance from the Bombay-based agency, Didi decided to confine her work to Lepa. When her friends in Nasik came to know of this decision, they were disappointed.
They said to me, "It was your decision to expand the work. Now you say that you are stopping the work. That is not right. What about those children in whom you instilled the dreams of progress? What about those women in whom you instilled self-respect and empowered them?" At that time, about 850 children were studying with me. They posed a further question to me. "Don't you think that we can find 850 families in Maharashtra who will sponsor a child's education costing about 3,000 rupees per year?" I responded to them, Maybe there are such families, but who will approach them and recruit for sponsorship?" My friends offered to take on the responsibility, saying, "We cannot do what you are doing. We cannot do what you are doing, but we definitely can accomplish the goal of recruiting 850 families." And they did. And they did what they promised.
Having overcome the financial worries with the help of the friends in Nasik, Didi undertook yet another project, stopping the soil erosion on the banks of the river Narmada.
During the parikrama, I noticed that on the both banks of Narmada, tons of soil is washed away during the rainy season. This soil ultimately accumulates in the dams, resulting into shortening life of the dam. To tackle this problem, we started bamboo and babul plantation on the nearby south banks of Narmada. As a part of this project, we also started bamboo nursery with 12,000 saplings in our campus.
Notwithstanding the additional responsibility of stopping the soil erosion, Didi kept on expanding her Narmadale activity. About 10 kilometers away from Lepa, in a village called Bhatiyan, Swami Chaitanya Giri used to teach Vedant. Out of curiosity, one day Didi went to see him. When she reached there, she was appalled to see naked children with big bellies smeared with dust. She immediately started Narmadale in Swamiji's ashram. Most of the villagers were poor laborers. Didi went from house to house requesting the parents to send their children to the school. Soon, about 125 children started studying here. Didi saw the river Narmada flowing close to the ashram. She realized the risk of children falling into the river. It was not a safe place for the school. On appealing to the village council, they allotted a beautiful place after Didi promised them free education for the children. Overcoming the financial constraints, a building was constructed for the school.
4 टीचर हैं हम, उनको उनके हिसाब से, रुचि के हिसाब से भी उनको जरा बताना, उनको अगर मन नहीं लग रहा है तो थोड़ा खेल करके पढ़ाई बताना ताकि वो अच्छे से पढ़ें। उनको अच्छा लगता है, परिवर्तन हुआ है बच्चों में, पढ़ाई भी करते हैं, थोड़ी सफाई से भी रहने लग गए हैं। स्कूल होने से थोड़ा फ़ायदा हो गया लड़का लड़की बच्चों उनको, और कुछ भी पढ़ना चाहते हैं बच्चे हैं, हम भी पढ़ाने चाहते हैं तो पढ़ेगा तो आगे भी फायदा, उनके नौकरी चौकरी कुछ भी करेंगे और क्या।
Many of the children here were malnourished. They didn't even get 2 meals every day. Didi immediately arranged midday meals for the children. About 50 kilometers away from Lepa, on the banks of the Narmada, is Omkareshwar, one of the prominent holy cities in India. Lots of pilgrims visit this holy place. There are many hermitages and rest houses for pilgrims on the banks of the river on both sides. Swami Urukramanand of the Ramakrishna Mission, located in the area, shared his concern with Didi about the children remaining uneducated since there was no school in the area. Didi met a few children in the area to know their family backgrounds and economic conditions.
मैं नर्मदा जी में दिन भर में कूद के 15-20 नारियल पकड़ लेता हूँ। 15-20 नारियल के 150-200 रुपये मिल जाते। मेरे पापा सिलाई की दुकान लगाते, मेरी मम्मी नारियल प्रसाद की दुकान लगाती।
फूल नारियल अगरबत्ती की मैं सुबह 6 बजे तक दुकान लगाती हूँ और फिर कभी 60-70 से 200 तक का धंधा होता है।
It being a holy place, lots of pilgrims visit the place and offer coconuts to the river Narmada as a tradition. Children waiting on the banks dive into the river and catch the coconut and then sell it to a shop for 10 rupees. They sell about 15 to 20 coconuts in a day and earn at least 150 rupees. Because of these lucrative earnings, the children don't want to study.
With the help of Swami Urukramanand, Narmadale was started at Omkareshwar. The school timings were determined as per the needs of the children. Started 10 years ago with 14 children, the expansion of Narmadale is astonishingly successful. 3 middle schools run by Narmadale are recognized by the Education Department of the Government of Madhya Pradesh. The children at these schools are taught free of cost. Today, about 1,800 children from 15 different villages are taking advantage of this free education to better their futures and increase their knowledge as well as confidence in their abilities.
रही हूँ। मेरे को पहले गणित से बहुत डर लगता था। पहले मेरे को गुणा और भाग नहीं आते थे, वो गुणा और भाग भी आने लगे। मुझे पहले इंग्लिश का बहुत डर लगता था, मुझे अब कुछ नहीं डर लगता। मुझे इंग्लिश आती है अब पूरी तरह से।
मुझे इंग्लिश में मैं थोड़ा कमज़ोर था, इंग्लिश में भी बहुत अच्छे अंक प्राप्त करता हूँ और गणित में बहुत अच्छे अंक लाता हूँ। मुझे एक बार इंस्पायर्ड अवार्ड के लिए भी चुना गया था, जो मैं बुरहानपुर अपना प्रोजेक्ट लेके गया था। मेरे प्रोजेक्ट का नाम था इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेटर।
The parents of the children feel that the atmosphere in Narmadale has given a new direction to the lives of the children.
5 सालों में काफ़ी उन्होंने सुधार किया है। उन्होंने भाषाएं चेंज करी है, अच्छे कपड़े पहनना, अच्छी चीज़ें खाना, बुरी चीज़ों को उन्होंने दूर रखा है। तो बच्चे गांव के हिसाब से जैसे भी उनके घर में जो चलता था कि कई तंबाकू खा रहे हैं, कोई बीड़ी पी रहा है, पर यहाँ के वातावरण ने उन बच्चों के ये सब सारे सेवन जो हैं वो छुड़वा दिए हैं।
Trained people come here from Indore and Mumbai to teach these children skills. They guide the children.
उन्हीं की जो पाठ्य पुस्तक की किताबें हैं उसमें सुंदर कविताएं हैं, और वैसे बच्चे कविता याद नहीं करते हैं। कविताओं को लेकर के स्वरबद्ध करके कार्यक्रम किए जाएं। आज बच्चे राग पहचानने लगे हैं, बात उनका इन सब चीज़ों का पढ़ाई पे भी बड़ा अच्छा असर हो रहा है। कंसंट्रेशन बढ़ गया है। सीखना सिखाना बहुत पहले से मैं कर रही हूँ, संगीत से जुड़ी हुई हूँ, लेकिन मुझे यहाँ आकर के जो आनंद मिलता है वो कुछ अलग तरह का है।
The teacher training program of Narmadale is benefiting many teachers. In particular, many girls who have successfully completed the 10th or 12th standards have gained confidence to take up teaching as a career. Some of them have even landed jobs in government schools.
गांव से बाहर भी नहीं हम लोग गए थे, लेकिन जब नर्मदालय में जुड़े, ट्रेनिंग हुई, वहाँ पर हमको एक सब कुछ सीखने को मिला। हमने सीखा भी और बच्चों को भी सिखाया। पढ़े के नाम से जो बच्चे डरते थे वो जैसे कि स्कूल नहीं आते थे, लेकिन हमारे नर्मदालय में आते थे वो, क्योंकि उनको वहाँ पर नई नई चीज़ें और नई विधियों से वहाँ पर उनको सीखने को मिलता था।
गांव में लड़कियों को पढ़ने भी नहीं जाने दिया जाता है बाहर, लेकिन मेरे मम्मी पापा ने मुझे सपोर्ट किया और कहा कि नहीं, सभी ने छोड़ दिया तो क्या हुआ, तू जा स्कूल। तो 12वीं क्लास पास की, तो फिर नर्मदालय के बारे में पता चला। पहले तो मैंने पैसों के लिए सोचा था कि कुछ भी बच्चों को पढ़ाएंगे तो पैसे मिलेंगे, तो थोड़ा खर्च भी चल जाएगा घर का। और वहाँ पर जो सीखा हमने, उससे लगा कि इसके आगे पैसे कुछ भी नहीं है, और अगर यहाँ पर फ्री में भी करना हो तो हम करेंगे काम साथ में। ट्रेनिंग पर जाते थे और वहाँ बहुत कुछ सीखने को भी मिलता था।
In many villages, there are no classes beyond the 8th standard. The children in these villages have to go to the nearest town or city for further education. The children from economically weak families have to face many financial hurdles. For such children, Narmadale started a skills development program. Under this program, children are imparted professional skills in various trades such as repairing electrical appliances, plumbing, tailoring, masonry, two-wheeler repairing, dairy farming and organic farming. Children who aspire for a professional diploma in these trades are sent to the Science Center in Pabar in Maharashtra. After successfully completing the diploma course at Pabar, they return to Narmadale to serve the community with their newly acquired skills.
हमें पाबल भेजा गया था DVRT डिप्लोमा इन बेसिक रूरल टेक्नोलॉजी करने के लिए। वहाँ पर 4 सेक्शन थे, इलेक्ट्रिक, फूड प्रोसेसिंग, वर्कशॉप और एग्रीकल्चर। वो हम सीख के और वहाँ पर हमारा कैंपस सिलेक्शन भी हो गया था, तो उस काम को हम छोड़ के नर्मदालय में वापस आए और यहाँ पर हम बच्चों को वर्कशॉप का काम सिखाते हैं, सुतार काम, वेल्डिंग का और इलेक्ट्रिक और फूड प्रोसेसिंग का सिखाते हैं।
Child marriage is one of the major problems in this area. As a result of underage marriage, teenage girls face the problem of getting pregnant and having to raise children. This creates physical and mental suffering for the teenagers.
12 वर्ष की उम्र में मेरी शादी कर दी गई थी और 15वें वर्ष में मुझे ससुराल भेज दिया गया था। फिर मेरी 2 बेटियां हुई और तीसरी बेटी भी होने के कारण मेरे पति ने दूसरी शादी कर ली। फिर मुझे मजबूरन अपनी दोनों बेटियों को लेके मेरी माँ के घर आना पड़ा। यहाँ पर भी काफ़ी दुखों का सामना करना पड़ा। फिर मुझे मध्याह्न भोजन में खाना बनाने का काम मिला। मैं और मेरी 5 साल की बेटी वहाँ पर बर्तन मांजते थे, तो भारती दीदी ने मुझे डांटा कि तुम इससे पढ़ने क्यों नहीं भेजती। मैंने उनको अपनी स्थिति बताई। फिर भारती दीदी ने बोला कि आप यहाँ मेरे साथ काम करोगी क्या कुछ, तो मैंने हाँ कर दी। फिर यहाँ पर मुझे किचन का काम सौंपा गया।
I am very happy with the change in this woman's life. This woman, who was afraid to cook for 4-5 people, is now easily preparing meals for more than 50 people.
Narmadalaya also empowers women in these villages by providing them skills in tailoring and sewing quilts. This turns them into financially strong family members.
यहाँ पर सिलाई में मैंने बेबी सेट, मोबाइल पाउच, चादर, दोहड़, पर्सेस और थैलियाँ बनाना सीखा और आज हमारा काम काफ़ी बड़े पैमाने पर चल रहा है। इस सब काम की देखरेख और हिसाब मेरे ही हाथ में है। पिछले साल हमने कुल मिलाकर 3 लाख का सामान बेचा।
These empowered, confident women had to struggle hard to cross many hurdles to come to Narmadalaya and work there.
मुझे 3-4 किलोमीटर पैदल चलकर आना पड़ता था। कुछ लोगों ने तो मुझसे कहा कि इतने से पैसों के लिए क्यों इतनी दूर जाती हो, लेकिन मैंने उनकी किसी बात पर ध्यान नहीं दिया और अपना काम में मन लगाकर करती रही और परिणाम आज सामने है। मुझे कोई कुछ नहीं कहता, मेरा निर्णय सही था। नर्मदालय ने मेरे और मेरे परिवार की सोच बदल दी है।
दीदी के साथ में पिछले 6 सालों से इस काम में जुड़ा हूँ। आज संस्था का काम 15 गाँव में है। शिक्षा की नींव संस्था के माध्यम से इन बच्चों में रखी गई है, तो उसको आगे बढ़ाते हुए व्यावसायिक प्रशिक्षण केंद्र और एग्रीकल्चर ट्रेनिंग के माध्यम से इनको एक जिम्मेदार नागरिक बनाएंगे, जिससे कि खुद का भविष्य सुनहरा होगा और इसी सुनहरे भविष्य के साथ में वो लोग गांव की उन्नति करेंगे।
When I came here from Nasik, I did not foresee that this work would expand to such an extent. Now I am extremely happy with the change that Narmadalaya has brought about in the lives of the children in the villages around Lepa. The divine inspiration from Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa and Ma Sharada, and the helping hands of many well-wishers will help me future also in expanding this work and in improving the lives of many more children.